Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to give you a quick overview of what to expect. First, we need to get a look at XRP, not just in the short term, but also in the daily time frame, as it looks like a W reversal was created, and it looks like a rather bullish Gartley if it does form properly, which means that we had more support from the buyers than sellers on the second pull down of the W, which allowed us to move up. And now it looks like we're in a correction phase, but we're still over the 377. And as long as we stay over that, that's our S1 right now. That means we could push up to 397 or up to the top of the descending triangle at about 45 cents, 44.5 cents. But that's out in the daily time frame, so we'll take a look at that as well as the short time frame. As if we get rejected here, it could be very bearish if we lose this area. But we have to pay very close attention because XRP, like I said, is still over the 0.377 area. We're going to take a look at the DXYs. It's at about 105.67 at this moment, or 104.67, still below the 105. But I'm going to show you why the uptrending support, it needed to come back down to 104.55 approximately, like we talked about the last couple days. Also, as you can see on my screen, the Dow futures is up 45 points. S&P futures is up 4.25. NASDAQ futures is up 5 points, and the Russell 2000 futures is up $1.90. So everything is relatively flat this morning. So you have to pay attention to this daily technical analysis, as I believe the historical collapse will continue here in the short term, and retail traders are going to get squashed. I think retail traders are going to get absolutely lit up, and it's been happening since XRP was at $1.98 in 2021, and I believe that we're about 3/4 of the way down, but I believe this next drop is going to catch a lot of people off guard. Make sure to hit that like button, as it really does push me through the analytics. I'll catch you on the other side of this update. Good morning. 9:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. As we close out this February, already crazy. We're already going through February. Right now, we can see the DXY is at 104.53, right around where we talked about on the opening. We could be having a bullish cross here happening in the daily time frame as well, which could be interesting, assuming that we hold this ascending triangle support, and we're right at the apex practically right now. This is exactly what we were talking about. But now you can see we've slightly breached, and we need to see if this continues down, because if it does, we could come all the way down to 103.924. So we're looking to hold this area at about 104.58. It's just in the immediate short term, we've started to come down, which, from what we're seeing in the broader market, this is not necessarily a surprise. We knew this would have to come through yesterday, and we talked about this. So right now, we're kind of at the apex. So 104.55 is dead in the middle. So we need to hold that 104.55 to try to push up farther and have a move up past 105.30, as right now a topping reversal looks to have cut this short on our way up to 106.20. So we're going to see exactly what that means, and if this starts turning bearish for the US dollar. Right now, it's more of a retracement, but we'll see. Gold and silver is still under pressure this morning, down about $3.50 in gold, and silver's down or up about 0.09%. Gold-silver ratio is still healthy at 87.8. We got the total crypto market cap at 102.7 trillion. You can see a W reversal trying to possibly play out here as well. This is a bearish W as well. That's a bearish Gartley. Left side's farther down than the right side. So we're going to see how this plays out. If we break back up and we get back above the 1.03 trillion, 1.049 trillion is next up. If we break down, next on deck would be 990 billion. So pay attention to that. Won't make too much of that. As you can see, XRP is down 0.13%, still at 0.3780, just above the S1 support. And right now, S1 support here today is 0.377. We are on a rather big bear flag. And right now, if we break 377, I would say our logical supports right now, we have underneath that 368. We can actually 369, we'll say. So we have 377, 369, 362, and then ultimately down here at the 348. So those are your S1, S2, S3. So again, S1 is 377. We're still trying to decide if this is support or resistance. So it's a major pivot level to last about a week. We've got S2 right around 369, S3 around 362, and S4 at 349. R1, if we have 377 as support, R1 would be 386, R2 would be 397, R3 would be around 412. So that's what we're looking at right now, or 414. So those are the three resistance, three supports, and I even gave you a third resistance. If you want a third or a fourth, or I gave you a fourth support. If you want a fourth resistance, 432. So make sure you pay attention to that as followed. And now, what we're going to look at real quick, and we're going to finish out most of this update like this, is we're going to go into the daily time frame as we looked at the short term. But in the daily time frame, we've got to pay attention to this, folks. Let me go into the other chart because there's not as much drawing. We have to pay attention. Is this a W reversal right here? So you got the drop down. Let me get out my drawing tool. We've got a drop down. We got a bigger pull down here. We look like a consolidatory phase. And as long as we didn't break this, and that's what I keep saying, as long as we hold 342 approximately right here, we can always bounce back up to the 44-cent mark approximately. At the top of this pattern, we have the ascending or uptrending support, downtrending resistance. And this is the all-time pattern. So this is going from the 2020 uptrend. The downtrending resistance goes from about 2022 in the mid-year. But this right here, is this a bull flag working on a consolidation after the pull up? And is it putting in some kind of weird bottom right now? So what I'm talking about, though, if we're talking about a Gartley, is this a bullish Gartley with the W and then pulling up? And are we trying to, in fact, do something like this? Or are we just trying to come up and hit this downtrending resistance, which it definitely needs to do again around 44 cents. So that's what we're looking at. That's why it's been very, very important. And if you're like, well, what the hell does all this mean? Well, we'll look at a bullish Gartley so that you can see what that means. But the all-time pattern, just to catch you up, if you haven't seen it before on my channel, this is the 2020 uptrend right here. We have to break 0.337 approximately to lose this uptrend. You break 337, the next true uptrend goes back to 2017, and that'll get you around 18.6, 18.8. You lose that, then you come down to the all-time pattern, and that can get you down to 0.12, and that goes all the way back to 2013. That's why these are so important, and that's why this current formation is so important. Before we take a look at Bitcoin, I want to let you know what a bullish Gartley is, just so you can, even if that's not what it is, I still want you to learn about what that is for future potential if you spot that in a chart. So a bullish Gartley pattern is a technical chart pattern that signals a potential reversal of a downtrend and a possible bullish move in the market. It is composed of a series of price swings and is characterized by the following features. The pattern starts with a significant downtrend where the price of an asset drops to a new low. The first price swing, labeled as AB, represents a retracement of the previous downtrend with the price rising from the new. The second price swing, labeled as BC, is a new downtrend with the price retracing a portion of the AB price swing. The third price swing, labeled as CD, is the most critical movement of the pattern, with the price rising from the BC low and ideally nearing or ending near the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of the AB price swing. The final price swing, labeled as DA, is a retracement of the CD move, with the price ideally reaching the 786 Fibonacci retracement level of the CD price swing. So those are just examples, but that's what would happen. So basically, if this is AB, the first price swing down would be AB. Second price swing would be BC, and it actually came down a little bit lower. So we have the first downtrend, or the first swing low, coming back to the second swing low, which is lower, so it looks bearish, but then the buyers buy it up, and then it swings it up. And now you would expect to hold no less than the 343 level to pop up to around the 44 cent level. So that's what we're looking at right now. That's what I'm looking at this morning, and that's where my focus is at. Let's end this on Bitcoin. As I've stated in the beginning, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that like button, as it really does help more people get through here. And the faster you hit it, the more people that come through. So basically, here's the story right now. We still got this W, just like we talked about with XRP. And now it comes down to this, folks. It comes down to this. Does Bitcoin, let me go into the shorter time frame so you can see. Does Bitcoin hold this uptrend that we've started right here at 23,300? Or do we lose this 23,300 approximately and end up coming down to our next target of 21,965? Or do we come back up and retest here at 23,750 approximately? Can we break above it, or do we get rejected and confirm this pattern breakdown? Or can we get back on top of 23,750 and ultimately try to break back above this uptrend that we failed to hold up at around 24,700 to ultimately push to 25,194 and possibly to the broken bull flag way up here at 26,600? That remains to be seen. We have to first hold this first level I talked about at 23,270 approximately. I suppose we could say, yeah, we'll say 270. And then the uptrending resistance right here is 23,700. I hope this update helped. If you got any value out of this, make sure to hit the like button, as it does help push me through the analytics and help get more people into this program. And if you want to trade like I do, and you want to buy XRP in the USA, look in the video description below. I've got 3 choices for you. 2 of them have no spot fees on the buy and sell. That is BITGET and or MEXC. And the third option would be UPHOLD, but there's higher spot fees, but I trust them the most, so I keep most of my capital there. That would be on UPHOLD. If you want to join Tom's Army, that's also in the video description below and the pinned message. And if you want to also find me on any of my other platforms, that's also in the video description below and the pinned message. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, there's simply no point on this journey alone. And remember, this next chapter, when this finally does play out, even if we have this W reversal and we can get up to 45 or even 55 cents, this next chapter is going to wipe out retail traders. It's been planned, and the mass manipulation will hold strong. So do not forget about that historical crash that will wipe out retail traders.